Hey everybody, welcome to Trading Capital's exclusive analysis. In today's video, we're discussing natural gas. Right now we have the left side, the daily chart, the right side of the screen, the weekly chart. So two different time frames. We're going to analyze both. The daily chart, pretty interesting setup that is about to occur in my opinion. We've expressed when we were up here that we were likely going to get a pullback, maybe even a pullback down to this 211, 212 range, back testing that 20-day as well as this upsloping pivot trend line connecting these multiple pivot lows. And the beautiful thing is that if we do get this back test, then you have potentially an inverse head and shoulders on the daily chart that could be setting up here. Now, what's also interesting is you do have a larger weekly term time frame that could be very, very bullish. A weekly inverse head and shoulders potential again. It has not triggered, so we just have to be patient and understand that the pattern upside cannot be calculated and deemed until it fulfills a break of the neckline. Now we do have some pretty bearish price action in some of these key weekly moving average. You got a bearish cross of the 100 and EMA 113. You just had a potential bearish crossover the 200 and EMA 113, and now you're setting up on the daily for the 50 and the 200 to intersect into downtrend. Again, the last time we actually got that bit of a bearish crossover on the daily chart was really right around here, where you got that death cross and you saw a complete precipitous fall in that gas. So if the bulls end up losing this upsloping trend line on the weekly chart, that daily bearish cross could push us much, much lower on the overall chart. And obviously, this is an important trend line. But when we look at things, the big test for the bulls and the bears want to break this lower boundary pivot, pivot low to pivot low. If the bears break this pivot trend line, I mean, yikes, it could be a very, very big capitulation move that is set to occur in nat gas. And where could we go to? Well, you could go all the way back down to this lower boundary trend line, call it 134. You'd have this pivot low support, this pivot low, and that would continue to keep that lower high and lower low trend in place. Remember, nat gas is in a very, very big downtrend on the weekly chart. Here's your high, lower high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low. So the market's always searching to make higher highs or higher lows. And right now, there is a potential chance that nat gas could still go lower, and I think that would be a surprising thing for people to see. If nat gas were to break that $2 psychological number again and start trending back to this 160 pivot, I mean, you could see a pretty sharp capitulation fall. So again, if you're long, which I still am, but we've trimmed profits already into that daily 200 moving average. But if you're still long, just manage this position carefully because it could be a quick and sharp mover in either direction.